All right. So we're actually doing this, right? We're doing this. We have somehow found ourselves where the LG G2 is the actual underdog this year. For the very first time in a long time, the LG G2 OLED or LG G series, LG OLED in general, is the underdog this year. And so with all of the excitement, QD OLED televisions, we have found ourselves not paying attention to the world's largest provider of OLEDs and to this point, debatable best TV on the market. How have we not covered the G2? And let's talk about why the G2 may be the best option for some of you that are kind of on the fence between the A95K and the Samsung S95B, as the G series is actually sitting right in the middle from a pricing standpoint. And so let's jump into this. The 55-inch is $2,199. This is exactly the same price as the Samsung S95B 55-inch QD OLED television. This is the gallery version of the LG OLED. This is their prettiest panel, if you will. This is their thinnest bezel. There's multiple sizes, right? Your 65-inch is the same as your 55-inch Sony A95K, right at the $3,000 mark. Although it is going to be a little bit slightly higher than your Samsung S95B, which is at the $29.99 mark for the 65-inch. But this one, unlike those two, also go up to a 77-inch and 83-inch variant. This again is the OLED Evo display. This is their brightest, strongest panel that they have possible. It's in both of those versions this year. Let's get down into the nitty gritty, right? So you have your A9 Gen 5 AI processor. So it's also artificially intelligent based processing, like your XR cognitive processing from Sony. Different ways of processing their pictures. Sony tends to go more towards a cinema style. LG tends to go more towards a vibrant, bright style, if you will. Always punchy, bright, beautiful photo, beautiful picture. 120 hertz native, of course, right? Let's not even waste our time with that. If it's not 4K, it's not a real OLED, Alienware. But anyway, apples to apple slices with the Samsung S95B at $21.99 and the LG G2 55-inch at $21.99. Unlike Samsung, LG has the Dolby Vision, HDR10 as well, and HLG and dynamic tone mapping. And so whereas Samsung only gives you the HDR10, HDR10 Plus, if you are a gamer, and not even just a gamer, right? Dolby Vision is a better cinematic format. It's a better HDR format. LG G2 gives you that. It gives you the full suite, gives you the full deal, HDR10, Dolby Vision. So FreeSync Premium, G-Sync compatible, variable refresh rate. You've never had to worry about variable refresh rate on an LG game, on an LG display as of recently. Response time less than a millisecond. Built-in cloud gaming. So Google Stadia and NVIDIA GeForce Now is also available directly on the television. You only need a controller. You add a controller and you have both of those features, paying the subscription, of course. Auto low latency mode, HGIG. HGIG is basically, it's a format that allows the television to automatically communicate with the console, the gaming console, or PC if necessary. I don't know if PCs really have, but gaming consoles for sure, and determining what the HDR content needs to look like specifically for that particular game without having to set HDR settings within the console or on the television. They kind of communicate between the two systems and depict what is supposed to be the format. Big feature that they have, if you have multiple 2022 LGs and beyond, room shares where you can send information from one television to the next without losing the spot. Big thing with LG is that it always has all of the smart assistants. So Google Assistant, Alexa, Apple AirPlay 2, and HomeKit. Cancel.
According to Wikipedia, Apple Incorporated is an American multinational technology company that specializes
Alexa,
in consumer
cancel. Anyway, built-in Dolby Atmos. So I thought the Samsung was going to be the only one with this. Built-in Dolby Atmos on the LG G2 as well. And so that's something to consider if you're comparing apples to apples. And we'll get to that in a second. From there, HDMI ports 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all full bandwidth, 48 gigabytes a second, HDMI 2.1, 4K 120 hertz, gaming, whatever you name it. eARC is HDMI 2, but it still has the other three for the 4K 120 hertz gaming for your PC, your two consoles. That is a big deal because I still don't understand why Sony doesn't have 4 HDMI 2.1 HDMI ports on a $4,000 television. It does not make sense. Make it make sense for me, Sony. So from there, we jump back into the things that are not shown on the spec sheet, if you will. The fact that the G2 has a heatsink, the fact that the G2 will be able to burn brighter for longer, the fact that the panel now comes with a 5-year warranty on the panel for burn-in and different things like that. So I don't want to come off as like I'm not excited about the new technology. I am extremely excited about the Samsung S95B. I'm also extremely excited about the Sony A95K. But we cannot ignore the fact that LG OLED has been the defining screen, the defining display and panel of OLED televisions for the last 10 years. They are the best at it. They have the best to this point, the G series television that has been the pinnacle of what a television set can offer. And this year, because of the new QD OLEDs, they have the best prices we have ever seen. Not only do they have the best prices on this year's model, it is almost better for some of you to look at last year's G1 model for $15.99, brand new at the 55-inch version. I wanted to make sure we're not forgetting about the G2 and the C2 series that are both coming out with the LG OLED Evo panels. The gaming functionality of those televisions are the best, hands down, still, because they offer G-Sync, FreeSync, ALLM, VRR, less than 1 millisecond response time on the G1, on the G2, as well as a heatsink. It is the best gaming television out there. QD OLED is untested, it's unproven. It's going to be good technology, but is it going to be able to do everything that it says it's going to be able to do? And will you regret buying a Samsung S95B and passing up on a G2 at the exact same price? Still to be determined. But it is crazy to think that the LG G2 is the dark horse this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, stay cozy in that crazy world. I'll see you in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.